Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. How are we all today? Nice to see you all here again. Morning, Pat, Nicola, Sue, Fiona. Hi, Julia. Back for more, Julia. Morning, Jane and May, June, Anne, and Carol back for more. That's nice. Didn't put you off yesterday then. That's good. Hi, Karen. Hi, Marjorie and Catherine. So look, what are you all up to? It looks like some of you think you're having coffee with brandy, Fiona. I think that's a bit much. Marshmallows sound all right, though. Morning, Janice. Hope everybody is okay. We're on to Christmas. Oh, hi, Heather. We're on to Christmas again today, so just a little bit of Christmas. And I always like to do a Christmas that is a quite a simple, quick card. And the new range from Precious Marieke have come out, and that is the one that we're going to be using. So this is one of the samples. I'm going to do it in a different colourway and show you a couple of tips on how to do it. But this is the dye range. So it's called Touch of Christmas. And as I said, it's one of the Find It dyes by this one, Precious Marieke. So it's one dye that cuts itself out all the way around. It has got a cutting edge all the way around here. And it is about 5 inches, is it? I was going to say centimetres, but I don't know. Let's give you in inches. Yeah, 5 inches, or that is 12.5 centimetres square. So this card, finished card, is a 6x6, but of course it could be made a little bit bigger if you put different borders on it and bits and pieces like that. So cutting edge on the outside, cutting edge on the inside here as well, so which is quite pretty. Lots and lots of detail on it. And this one has got a couple of bells. If you look on the Facebook Live section on the website at maximumcrafts.com, you will see that there are some other dyes in this section as well, in this collection, and they're very pretty. Some lovely borders and bits and pieces, but I thought I'd go with the frame so that you can make a whole card. If you can use a die cutting machine, you can do this one, but there are a few tips to go with. Okay, so I am going to cut this one and make this onto a craft card. So I've got craft card base, same size as this one. So I say 6x6, but you know what they're like. Very few of the 6x6 I've found are actually 6x6. They're more like 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So it's always best to check exactly what size it is, despite what it might say on the packet, so that you can be sure that when you're cutting your layers for it, that you have cut the right size. So because it's cream, I'm going to put that one to one side for the minute. Because it's cream, I've gone with a copper sort of colour, and creamy sort of colour. I can't think what it's called. Ivory, I think it's called. So it's a coppery pearlised card, and I've got just the ordinary creamy coloured card. So I've already cut out some layers here. So let me just show you. So I've measured my card, and I'm just going to take, first of all, the cream. Now I could have put the coppery colour on there, but I think you'll agree that it sort of blends in too much. It needs a bit more of a contrast. So below the expense, we'll have another piece of card. And we'll go with that colour first, because that gives a better contrast to that craft colour. And then this one on top. And then I've also got another one. So it's quite a few layers, but I think it's worth it. And if you were really crafty, you could get your die cutting machine out and your square dies, and you could cut that piece out of that piece. So because you wouldn't be able to see it if you did it nice and carefully. So that's going to be my layers. And because it is a darker card, I've already taken the opportunity of doing one in the centre. So I've cut out just one, and because this is inside and it doesn't matter quite so much, I've just gone with the cream colour, and then I've used VersaFine Fine in sepia, vintage sepia, to stamp this one. And that was from the stamp set, the oh gosh, what was it called? Hold on, Festive Christmas Wishes or something. No, oh, nothing like it. Special Christmas words that we had on last week. So that was, we used that as more of a focal point, and this time I've put it inside as one of the verses. So that is my card base, but let's get on to the die. So taking the die, what we need to do first is to tape it down. And when you're taping it down, I would suggest that you tape it so that it is across these bells here. Make sure that those bells are attached. The reason being that this bit falls out and it falls away from the outside bit. And so when you put it through your die cutting machine, if you haven't attached those bells securely, because I'm going to recommend that you emboss it, emboss the die, show you that in a minute, you don't really want any more movement. So that's a really good place to adhere it to. So if you cut it out, as I have done here from my gold, coppery coloured card, whizzed it right up to you. You can see that you've got, I haven't pressed out all of the things. You can see that it's got all the lovely detail, which needs being taken out in a second. But also you might see that just by putting it through the die cutting machine, there is a hint of some other embossed parts of the pattern. Even down here, there's some little, don't know if you can see that, possibly some little stars, which are debossed. And they could do with being a bit more obvious, I think. And so once you've cut your die out, you make sure that your die is still in, your card is still in your die. And then you use your embossing sandwich for your die cutting machine. So I've got the Gemini. So I had clear plate, my die with my card in, my embossing sheet from my Gemini as well. And then I have to say, because it didn't do it as I wanted to, I then had to put the plastic shim on as well. Now, every machine, I know we all say that, but every machine is different. And so it does make a difference. You might need to have a go yourself, because in the manufacturer's suggestions for the Gemini, it says that you should go with clear plate, die, paper, rubber mat, of clear plate. And for me, that wasn't enough because I wanted a deep emboss. So I haven't taken this out yet, but you can see that I taped that into position so that it did not move. And so it was across the bells there and down here. And so I kept it in, having cut it out, and then I embossed through it. And even though this is the back of the card, I think you can already see that this has debossed here, embossed the other way around, beautifully. So let's just take that off. So take the tapes off. And although that bit is waste, I'm going to use it in just a little while. Oh, let's get the tape off. So there we go. So keep that to one side because we will need that in a minute. So here is my beautiful pattern. I'm going to pop that to one side as well, and I just need to pop out all the bits. So they do literally just fall out. They are really simple, especially once you've embossed it. It's a very intricate die, so there's lots of different bits. But I think that when you're trying to produce, let's say, a quick lot of cards, you could go with not embossing it at all, and then you could just run it through. And had you not seen the embossed one, just check where I'm going there. Had you not seen the one that I've embossed, you would have been quite happy without having it embossed, because all these little bits are all done. It's very clever, lots of intricate designs. So they also in the range do some clear stamps so that you could use the clear stamps. But again, we're not going to today, but you could use that. And they also come with 4 different types of decoupage, and we are going to use one of those today. And I always think that these little bits would look really good as well on there. Almost don't want to chuck them out, but on the other hand, one can only have so many little bits. Most of them are usually on the floor in this place. Let me see if I've got all of the little bits out. I think I have. Yeah. Okay, so Let's just clear the deck here a little bit. Scoop these off. Oh, Helen, nice to see you. Can't always make it. Do I have the copper card? I do have the copper card. It is the linen metallic. Yeah. So you can see that it has, you know, given such a lot of detail on that. I hope you can. Yeah, you can if I hold it there. So with this little bit here, I'm going to get my die and I'm going to just place that over that corner where those bells are. And then I'm going to cut it through. Obviously, I've already done it, but don't tell anyone. I'm then going to cut that through again, and then I'm going to emboss it again so that we come with just a little scrap like that. So I've just got my bells in a second time. And then obviously it's not so easy to see where it is, but I'm just going to try and go round the bells, a bit of fussy cutting, so that we have got the bells on there again. So I'm just going to cut round like so. It is a little bit, you do have to sort of think about where this pattern goes, I must admit. But there you go, just about there. So that's going to go over the top of there. So I'm going to just mold that a little bit so that I'm just bending it round, and I'm going to put a foam pad on the back of there in a minute. So going back to starting to assemble the card, I also want to put our sentiment on, but I also want to put the decoupage. So I'll show you the decoupage in a second. So we're going with that sort of thing. Okay, so you can see now how it's being made up. And that is going to go over the top there. Okay, but I'm just going to pop that to one side again. So the decoupage sheets. Now, decoupage has been obviously around for many hundreds of years, probably. And I do like to see some of the decoupage sheets. And these are such a pretty range. So let's pop that over there so that you can see. So there's four different ones in that go with this particular range. So you've got this one, which is called Christmas Birds. And it's all push out, no cutting, i.e. the scissors, no cutting. Can't be doing with cutting, I'm afraid. I don't mind a little bit of cutting, but it would be me that I'd be doing it all so well, and then I'd cut his tail off. I just know it. So this set 1, 2, and 3. Each sheet has got 3 decoupage sheets. So this one is for the Christmas Birds. This one is called Pink Flowers. So it's pink poinsettias really, but you've got some baubles and another little bird there. Okay. Then you've got this one, which is called Red Flowers. You know, the words, the names are really something else, aren't they? Anyway, Red Flowers. That's more Christmas roses and lilies. And then the one that I've been using today, which is the Christmas candles. So again, 3 different ones, and you know, really simple and everything. So that's the one that I used on here. Okay, that's that little one. And I'm going to do this one here now, although I have made up the other one as well. So I'll just show you how simple they are. They just literally push out. Oh, she says. So they're already pre-cut out and they just literally push. So there's your base. Then your next piece. Going to go on top of there. Then your candle again. And finally, a couple more lilies at the bottom. So as I said, each sheet has got 3. So with all decoupage, it's a good idea to not just go absolutely straight on. So I do like to get my finger or a bone folder, but finger will do. Excuse the squeaky noise, and just mould them very slightly so that they just bend and look a little bit more lifelike. So just a little bit there. Oh, squeak, squeak, squeak. Okay, so that's that one. Same with these. Really simple. The sort of thing that you could do whilst watching the TV, in all honesty, with decoupage. Make a whole load and put them to one side, and then you've got easy decoration when you are ready to do so. So I found these tiny, which I normally wouldn't use, but these tiny little squares of foam pads. I usually would use silicone glue, but I haven't got one that wanted to play ball. Excuse me. You know what it's like if you don't use it for silicone glue, or it is in my house. If you don't use it for a while, it tends to go off really, and it doesn't matter what one I've tried, they all are the same. Pin Flare is my favourite one, but even that, if I don't use it for a little while, you know, if you're not someone that's using that type of thing, if you're using it all the time, well, once a week even probably, it would be fine, but it blooming well isn't. And then it makes it quite an expensive thing to do, actually. So, yeah, I like this simple design. I think, you know, as I say, if you've not got anything pressing to do, so that literally goes, needs a bit of a wiggle, over the top of the other one. But because I've folded it around, I don't know if you can see that there, it gives a little bit of a dimension. Then pop it the same onto this one. Have you all started your Christmas cards yet? Christmas is doing really well here. Quite a lot of Christmas going on because there's a lot of design stuff that I have to do for Christmas, so we're doing well. We've got John Lockwood on TV tomorrow, and he's using some of the Nellie Snellen embossing folders that we were using just recently, the new newish 3D ones. So they are really lovely. Got the trees one in as well. So you will have seen the rosy one and the flower frame that we did with some mica powders and things, and he's got them on the show tomorrow. I can't remember what time the show is, but he is on the telly. And finally, my last little layer. So when it comes to this one, these little tiny dots are ideal. But as I say, I wouldn't normally be using them. Find them rather time consuming, but hey, it's Sunday. I can take as long as I like. Well, as long as it's done within half an hour anyway. So just going to take these little dots off. So you can use all of the decoupage sheets, all fit in with this little frame, the bell frame as it's called. But you could just put a sentiment or anything you like, really. Now I've got to work out which way around this goes. Hold on. Like that, I think. There. Okay, so let's get rid of these. So one more thing before we put it all together, we need to know where we're going to pop our sentiment. So I'm just going to pop that there to roughly give us an idea. Actually, I can take those two layers away for the second. I just need to make sure that my frame is just going to be in the right place. I'm going to place my decoupage down there, and then I want space to put one of my signs here. So I'm going to put a Merry Christmas. This is from the Crafts 2 stamp set called Santa's Sleigh. I don't know why. I do really. It's because it's got Santa's Sleigh in it. And that is the other little one that I used here, the Merry Christmas. I used on the bottom there because it's a smaller design, so it worked as quite well. So let's get my stamping platform into place, because I just want to stamp that. And I'm going to use the vintage sepia again, so that it's the same colour inside and out. So that's the card that I'm going to stamp directly onto. But I need to have other things in place, but not stuck down, so that I can leave that, so that I know where it's going to go and that it's not going to be in the way. And I think if we pop him down there, that's about right. So I can take that out and take that out, and I can just come along and pick that up and then ink that up with the VersaFine, as I say, vintage sepia, same colour as it was inside. I haven't taken my magnets off, but that's fine. Okay, so there's that. Now we're just going to pop it all together. So let us get our card base all ready. Now I'm just going to use one of these sort of snail adhesives, which I must admit I'm usually, and not even now, very keen on it, but it just makes it a bit quicker. But I do find that for me they're not very permanent, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. I do prefer the other glues, but this is the one that we have to hand, and so that layer goes on first. Then I've got a layer of my copper. That with just a little border all the way around again. Then my next layer, not putting any foam on it though, because we've got the depth of card and the texture of the card from the decoupage that we're going to be using. So because I'm going to cheat and put my frame on with the sticky specs. It is another extravagant way of using the sticky specs, but again, it's Sunday, and I think it's allowed that you can do things like that on Sundays. I don't know about other days of the week, but Sundays, yeah. So that is going to go with a little border all the way around again onto my card front, like that. I'm then going to get my wet glue. Whoops. And I'm just going to put, I have to shake. Put some glue on the back of there. Oh, get it around the right way. I'm going to put him, I'm not going to put it up. I could have put it more up there, but I felt that it was floating up there. So I'm just bringing it down there so that fits in nicely. And then I'm going to get some foam to put onto the back of there, but I'm not going to use those little ones. And the reason why I'm not going to use the little ones is because I want quite a lot of depth, because I really want them to stick out, sort of thing. So I'm using some of my foam sheet and just cut a piece off on the back. So remember that I have sort of molded it a little bit so that it's just going round a little bit. So just so that it's going to sort of wrap itself around. So I'm putting it in exactly the same place as the bells are anyway. So, but it just gives that sort of 3D effect on there. Okay, so that is our Sunday special card. So one in copper and one in silver. Obviously different decoupage, but I think that they look really nice. I think there's so much detail in these dies that you really, as you look at the one that I didn't emboss, it still looks really lovely. but the bells don't show out quite so much on that one. But you could do just the embossing on the bells, and then it could work out really well. So there you go. There's our Sunday special, all over on the website of maximumcrafts.com under the Facebook Live section, where you will find the bells frame, which this one is called. You will find the candles of the decoupage sheets. You'll find all the other decoupage sheets. You'll find the sentiment stamps if you are interested, and the other range of the Touch of Christmas by Precious Marieke. That's all over there as well. Okay, so now let me tell you where we go from there. So yesterday we had a fabulous online class with some ladies, and I've got another fabulous online class coming tomorrow afternoon with another group of ladies. So that'll be really lovely. Looking forward to seeing you all there. And then Wednesday I will be back with, well, I'm not quite sure yet. All sorts of things to show you, but back with something then. And then hopefully on Friday, I'm doing the Fancy Fold Friday. But next Sunday, there will be no Sunday special because on the Monday, I shall be at long last going to visit my brand new grandson. And so I won't be able to post anything for a few days. But there are some lovely new items coming up over those few days. So you can still put your orders in, but they will not be able to be delivered. So next Sunday, there will be no Sunday special. Okay. So we have a really lovely one today instead. So thank you very much for watching me, everybody. I do hope that you, oh, what are we clapping? Oh, I don't know what time that is. Is that 8 o'clock tonight as well? All these different things going on. My excitement of the month is online class. I know, it's really nice. And we were saying, my group that we were saying was, you know, it's just so nice to get together and have a couple of hours having a chat and, you know, doing a bit of craft. We like all that sort of thing, don't we? Oh, 5 o'clock is it for the NHS? Oh, okay. Well, we'll be there at 5 o'clock. I should take a picture of the cards, pop them up on the Facebook page as well, and this will be available on YouTube, and it's under the Maximum Crafts. If you haven't also already subscribed, please do so. But pop over and have a look on the Maximum Crafts, and don't forget it's Maximum Crafts, all one word. No, I can't wait, Tim. It's going to be, but he'll be 7 weeks old. COVID-19 has got a lot to answer for, eh? So stay safe, everybody. That's the most important thing. Stay safe. Have a lovely day. And I will catch up with some of you tomorrow afternoon. And those of you who can't, I will look forward to seeing you hopefully on Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. Okay, then. Take care. Bye.